Open up! Open up! Open up! Open up! Open up!
We've got all these people up here. Probably over 2,000 easily coming up here. So
She's
it's a great gathering.
Of New Mexico, from the Gallup area, also an American Indian, and she is an advocate for our state, for our people. And that's everybody in New Mexico. So let's give Alicia a great hand.
Well, it's so great to be here together with all of you fellow New Mexicans who are concerned about the future, not only of our country, of our state, of our communities. And as I've said, many of you may have heard me speak before, but I've said this many times and it cannot be stressed enough. Even last year I was stating this, that we have a very clear choice come November 3rd, a choice between poverty or prosperity. Freedom or control, our American way of life or socialism. And if you want to know what socialism is like, we're getting a taste of it right now. I encourage you to do your research and understand these issues so you can articulate them to our friends and neighbors. But guess who said this best? The end goal of socialism is communism. That's from Lenin himself. And the purpose ultimately of a communist state and a socialist state is to put faith in government and not God, to create a godless society. And so I'm here today to ask you to join forces, everyone that's here today, to link arms, to partner up, to fight for our country, to fight for our state. It's actually been a year ago to date. Fox News published an op-ed that I submitted about socialism on the Indian reservations, and if Elizabeth Warren really understood Native Americans, she could understand that socialism doesn't work.
That's right.
And I've witnessed it firsthand. Growing up in Gallup, New Mexico, which is known as the heart of the Indian country, I've experienced socialized medicine, which is government-run medicine, and I can tell you that over 100 years of government control on the reservations have left Native Americans the poorest in the country. They are the highest recipients of federal government aid, but yet the poorest in the country, some of the highest poverty rates. And ultimately, what government control and government programs have created on the reservation, and what the left, radical left, and this governor and the radicals that are backing her up in the legislature want to do, is to create a society where we're all dependent on the government. No! And we're here to say no more. No! So, again, in my experience witnessing this, the biggest tragedy on the Native American reservations, again, we're hit the hardest by COVID. It's the people that they purport to help, they hurt the most. The poor, the underprivileged, the women, the children, Native Americans and minority communities are hit the hardest. So do not believe the lies from the radical left. New Mexico has had 80 years of Democrat rule, and if they're really about helping the poor, we wouldn't be the poorest state in the country.
Yeah, that's right.
And so the biggest tragedy of all with these systems and programs that I've witnessed is that it's not just the poverty, it's not just the alcoholism, it's not just the broken families, the broken homes, and the drug-addicted families. It's the hopelessness.
That's right.
When people have a lack of hope for a better job, better tomorrow, better educational opportunities, they turn to these things. And so we have to forge a different pathway forward. We have a tremendous opportunity right now to send people to represent us, a new crop of leaders like Yvette Harrell, and like some of the other ones that are here today. So I want to just encourage you to stay encouraged, to stay in the fight, to stay in the battle, to seek truth, to serve God, but to be bold and courageous in standing for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that's where these lockdowns have to end. And I'm going to share with you one last thing. I tweeted out yesterday about the governor's lockdowns, how our president has said the cure cannot be worse than the virus itself. He's a 74-year-old man who came down with COVID, who recovered and is now working 12 hours a day and is stronger than ever. And the people that are being hardest hit are our youth, and are our elderly, and are those who are being displaced right now by these unscientific mandates that this governor is perpetuating across the state. So please, again, I ask you to pray. I just posted about the suicide rates that are off the charts, the child abuse rates. We need prayer. We need God more than ever now. So. And this is just something that was sent to me when I asked the governor, and I challenged her on Twitter, what is happening to our youth? This is an outrage that she's locking down and doubling down and not following the science. The CDC has stated that the protocol for school-age children is to open up the schools. Continue to pray for our state. We have, again, young people that have committed suicide, at least 3 that I heard of just yesterday on Twitter. This week alone. And so this is a very serious issue, and I just wanted to share that with you because there are real consequences to these unscientific mandates, but to the people that we're sending to represent us in that building. So we have a week to fight for the soul of our country, to fight for the soul of our state, and I thank you guys so much for being here to keep fighting hard, because we're going to turn New Mexico red and re-elect President Trump.